Hi everyone, today I am going to have a go at this picture here. This is a spread from Meine Reise Durch Europa, and I thought it would be fun to get on and do one of the next pictures in the page. Sorry, just trying to zoom in a little bit for you. Now, I like with these smaller pictures, it's nice to have a pencil that will sharpen nicely to a point, and so I picked up my my Black Widow Cobra set. They have quite a nice selection of pretty colours in as well. So I'm going to actually start with the grapes. I do like colouring grapes, they are a lot of fun. We actually have a colour called Grape in this set, so that's quite useful. So I'm going to be using that one first. I'll just show you, just trying to get organised. There we go, great. So we have this, what I thought I would do with this page actually was to colour the things that I know what colour they're going to be, so the fruit. So I've done with the grape, I've coloured it a little bit darker around the edge and at the bottom, and it gives it a slightly more rounded look and creates the illusion of shadow at the bottom of the grape. So yes, I thought I would colour the things that I knew what colour I wanted to colour them. So I want to do the fruit and things in a, in air quotes, realistic colour. This isn't going to look real, obviously, but do them in recognisable colours, shall we say. And then I shall think about the rest, because obviously things like the fruit bowl and the umbrella and the background, the colour, it doesn't matter, so we can pick something. But I figure if we do these first, because obviously like these grapes are quite dark in colour, so we'll want the bowl to not be another dark colour, or else we won't necessarily be able to see them very well. So that sort of decision can be made in a bit. So it's fun colouring grapes, I think. I have actually got a book by Helen Elliston with some instructions on how to, whoops, out of the lines I go, on how to colour grapes in lots of minute detail, and it's gorgeous and they look amazing. And I did have a go in Johanna Basford's Secret Garden. There is a picture with grapes in. It's like a vegetable garden type picture, and I had a go on that page, and I was really pleased with the result actually, but I'm not going to replicate that here. We're just going to keep it nice and simple. There's our grape. Now this behind I think looks like a peach. I don't know why I think it looks like a peach when it could very easily just be an apple, but I'm going to colour it as a peach. So I'm going to start with a colour called Sunset, which is quite a bright orange. I just realised how dark the page is. I think that's a little... Not sure why it seems so dark in here. Anyway, so I'm going to do some areas of this sort of colour, but I'm going to keep it quite light because it's obviously quite a vibrant orange, which isn't really that peachy, like that. And then I'm going to use a slightly lighter colour. This one's called Nugget, so as you can guess it's quite yellowy. Again, probably a little too vibrant really for a peach, but I'm just going to go over a few areas with that, and then I'm going to use a lighter colour. We have a colour called Light Yellow, and I'm just going to put that over the top of all of it and hopefully just mute it down a little bit. Sort of stop it being quite so vibrant. And I'm thinking usually there's a little bit of pinky red. I don't have that sort of colour, just so I know what I have got. I've got a deep red. I think that might be a bit over the top. I'm going to try the faintest bit just there, and a little bit there. Oops. Just a bit. And I'm going to leave it like that. Now here we have something that looks like it might be a citrus fruit cut in half, but we also have a lemon in there, so I'm thinking maybe it's supposed to be the same item. So I'm going to find the most lemon yellow I've got. Now in the Black Widow spider set, there's quite a good lemony yellow, but there isn't so much in here, so we're going to have to just go with what we've got. So this is called Gold. I'm going to try that. Ashes. Okay. Maybe it could do with being a little bit brighter, but next to that peach, maybe it works. So I'm thinking maybe a bit lighter in the middle. I'm going to put another yellow in there in a minute, and I'm going to colour this one in the same way. So actually, I'm just going to build up the layers a little bit to make it a little bit darker. And then I'm going to bring in, what's that colour? No, I don't want that colour. That was a mustard. I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to bring the gold nugget back in and just add a little bit of dark yellow to this sort of outside bit. And I think that'll probably just about work. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Now we have blueberries, and I'm going to use this colour called Space. I think it's blue. Let's hope so, eh? And I'm doing a similar thing to what I did with the grapes. Actually, that's a really good colour. It's quite purpley, isn't it? I think that's really good. So I'm making them dark at the bottom. Now blueberries, these sort of whole bit is always really dark, so I'm just going to put an extra layer in those bits, like that. There we go. Now, I haven't coloured this drink, and I want it to be a really pale, a sort of yellowy colour, like it's lemonade. So I'm going to use this light yellow and see how it looks. I think that will be good, because lemonade isn't usually really yellow, is it? Now our straw is striped in black and white, and I'd quite like to make it red and white, but I can't because of the black, so I think I'm going to have to make it red and black. Oh, excuse me. And I'm just going to sharpen up because we're going to need a sharp pencil for this. Sorry, I'm going to use the deep red. And I'm going to put a little layer on the outside and just fade it a little into the centre. You can see those black stripes have got white, so we're going to leave some white as well. Like that. It looks like a shiny straw. That's okay. Now, with the drink, going back to here, we left all these bubbles white, but as they come out of the glass, I'm actually going to colour them in the yellow. This is the same light yellow as we were using before. I was just thinking about that when I was doing the straw, and I'm going to colour them in the yellow. Okay, I was going to do the background yellow, but now I won't be able to with that yellow in there unless it's significantly darker. So have a think about that. That's okay, because I haven't sort of definitely decided on anything yet. Now, there is a nice opal green in this set. It's quite dark, and I'm going to use it for this sprig here, because I think this sprig, what would it be, mint, I would say, and I think that was quite dark, and I think this colour looks okay. So I'm going to make it darker near the stem and lighter as we go up. That's one there as well. Looks quite refreshing now, the drink. a nice lemonade. I do like a square of lemon in my water. I don't like fizzy water, but I'm thinking that what we could really do with is a little bit of grey on the glass to make it look like it's sort of more glass. Now we have a colour here called dim grey, which I think might do the job. I'm just checking what else we have. What colour's that? No, yes, this will do, because we don't want it to be too dark. Let's give it a bit of a sharpen. So my plan was to just put a little bit on the edges of the glass, just to try and create some shine. Do it on that bit, do it on the inside in a minute. So just sort of fade it as it comes towards the middle, just to make it look a little bit more glassy, I think. You don't have to. Right, the umbrella. Oh, we've got these other bits of greenery actually, and I'm just looking at what we've got. We've got actually quite a good neutral green here called Forest, which I think I'm going to use for all of the other green. So here we go, Forest, and we use it for these leaves to colour the leaves in the same way as we did the others. I rather like this green. Just colour that one in quite dark, I think. So a little bit darker at the bottom, more layers and less towards the tip. There we go. Now, umbrella handle and umbrella. And flower, let's have a think. I'm thinking the flower might look nice in a pink, so maybe I shall do that first. And I think I know what I'm going to do with the umbrella. So I'm going to use this pink. It is called Bubblegum, and as you can imagine, it's quite a vibrant pink. I think it's quite fun. And I want it to be darker near the centre there and lighter towards the edge of the petal, because it might be dipped in towards the centre of the petal and therefore a little bit darker. We've got a leaf here as well. I'm thinking about what to do on these turned over bits. It's always a bit of a challenge. I think we'll make them slightly darker so they look a little bit different to the bit of the petal that they're next to, like that. I can make the middle really dark as well. There we go. Now the leaves of that flower I am going to do in the same forest that I used. No, I'm not. I'm going to use the opal green that I used here, just because I think it will match the pink better. Just tidy that up a bit. And we'll go towards the tip. On each one the same. Nice and straightforward. Right, for the umbrella, the canopy part, I think I am going to use this colour. It's called Tulip. I'm just going to sharpen a little. Actually, it might be better if it's blunt. I might not sharpen it. Tulip. And I'm just going to go over with a layer. It's quite a pinky purple colour. I think it's quite an attractive colour. I think it will go well with the pink. Now with the this what's it, stick? Handle. Stick. yeah, with the stick. I was thinking about doing it a sort of wooden colour, but I decided not to do that. I think it'll look better if it's a colour that matches better with this. Now I'm thinking now about, I'm going to sharpen this, it really is a bit too blunt for me, where to put the darker colour, and I think it will look better if it's darker at the bottom. So I'm going to put a little bit more colour at the bottom and then fade that towards the top, because the light will be catching it here on the top, so it'll look a bit lighter. So I'm just trying to do less layers as we go towards the top, but also just neaten it out a bit because it's a bit messy. There, that's better. So the handle I'm going to do in this grey. This a different grey to the one I used for the glass, because that was a lighter grey. This one is called charcoal, so it's actually quite dark. So I'm just going to start out at the bottom and then fade it a little bit, and start there and fade down a bit. So hopefully it'll look a little bit like it might be slightly metallic and shiny. And the same with the little bit on the top. Now we have the fruit bowl. Now I'm looking at that fruit bowl thinking orange. Yeah. I'm going to use the orange I used for the peach, which is called Sunset, to start with, and then I've got another colour as well in mind. So I'm going to put down a sort of medium layer. I think it goes really well with this purple look. That was partly my thinking. Look at that, it's a glorious colour. So pretty. Looks like the fruit bowl is half an orange. So that is the basic layer. Just put that there. And then I'm going to use a browny orange to just add a little bit of shading on. I'll show you. This one is called Rattlesnake and it is this colour. And I'm just going to add a little bit on the sides, on the bottom, and then just bring it up a tad, sort of fade it in to the orange. And underneath the lemon there would be a bit of shadow, and here. There we go. Now we've pretty much done, apart from background. I'm having a look at what colours we have got. We've got a yellow, a mustard yellow, I don't think so. We've got a venom green, which might work, a brown, a black, a purple haze, a light pink. I would say yes. We have this colour, Aquarius. It's a greeny blue. It's quite dark. I'm going to try and apply it very lightly. So I've got it on its side. I'm going very slowly, holding the pencil a long way from the tip, just to put a small amount in that background area. It's going to be a bit tricky around the bubbles. I'm going to do the big areas first because I'm going to need to grip the pencil in a different way for the rest. Okay, so I'm going to have to hold it a little bit closer to do these bits, and I'm just going to have to try to be really gentle with it because I don't want lots of colour going down. I want it just to look quite light because this is a dark colour, but we don't have any other blues in this set apart from the one we use for the Blueberries, which is quite purpley and even darker. But there is a nice, the forget-me-not in the spider set would probably have worked really well, but I just wanted to use the one set of pencils. I think it can challenge you in some ways because you have to mix and blend to make colours. I don't have anything really that I could use to make this lighter though, but I think it's working with the light touch. And it also makes it slightly easier when picking colours if you have a smaller selection of colours to choose from, which I think can be useful if you're not good at making decisions about colour or which shade of purple should I go for. You may only have a couple to pick from. It makes it a lot easier, especially in some sets where they have a lot of colours which are really similar to each other, and it can be a little bit daunting to quite know why they're all there and what to do with them all. Right, I'm just sitting back to have a little look and see if I'm happy with that. I'm just wondering about these little circles here because we haven't coloured those, but I quite like them in white. Could do them in yellow like the ones up here. I'm going to leave them. I like it like that. What I am going to do though is to add a couple of touches of white. I'm just trying to find my pen. I want my Posca. I'm actually going to add a few on the flower. I want to just add some circle little dots like that, and I want to add just a little bit of reflection on the grapes. It's actually drawn on already, so you can just follow that if you want to. A little bit on these. It's actually now that's all. I'm just going to follow that line there, up there, and do a little bit on the glass. That where the lines are drawn, although it doesn't show up. Might show if you just white out a few bits of the black, just a little bit. Maybe not the whole line, but it makes it look a little bit more glassy. Like that. There, that'll do. I'm not going to fiddle around with it anymore. So there it is. There is our very summery looking picture, I think, which is rather fun. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. It's made me a bit thirsty. I'm going to go and get a drink. And thank you for tuning in, and happy colouring.